Grab your coffee, maybe a little tea, pen and pad, that's cool. If not, do not worry. Of course, you guys can always pause the video, rewind it back as many times as you need. Leave comments down below if you have questions. Hopefully these are steps that will help you to crush the e-commerce game and do your thing. So let's get into the 8 steps, you guys, okay? Step 1, we're gonna start with a brand new setup. We're gonna start a brand new TikTok page. Preferably, the page should have the brand name that you have in mind for your shop. So everything is very clear and streamlined, because you don't want, if someone is looking for your brand, let's say someone is looking for Bouquet Flowers LLC, but somehow your page with a different name keeps popping up and they can't identify and they don't know that it's the same brand. And I have run into that before as well, only to find out like it's the same brand, but they just had a different, they just had a different name on their actual TikTok page. But anyway, okay, so we're looking at the actual layout. We want to make sure that it was, brand new, wiped clean, because as we start generating sales and people love our products, they love our brands, we want to make sure that when they tag us, they mention us, those videos actually land on that page, right? And we want the focus of our niche to be very like razor sharp. Some of you guys might already have established stores. Perhaps you have a Shopify store or an Amazon seller account, perhaps Printify, I don't know. But if you really are trying to really penetrate and get into the TikTok shop game, I would suggest to, like I say, step 1 would be to start up a totally brand new TikTok page and make sure that the name, the TikTok page name that you have, it should correspond and be the same as the actual brand, your store name. Maybe it's already existing, maybe you're just starting it up, maybe TikTok is the first distribution channel, e-commerce that you are using, but you want to make sure that your actual TikTok page is the same as your brand. Once you have that brand new TikTok page set up that should have the same name as your store, then you are going to actually open up a TikTok seller account. Step 2, clearly, obviously, if you're already an existing brand, have existing products, right? But if you're brand new, and I would say step 2 is definitely select a niche. You want to select a niche that is not only trending, but hopefully problem solving, right? Maybe you want to kind of get off into gym outfits or something, right? So you want to select, not just a bodysuit, but you want to select a bodysuit that is solving some kind of problem. Slimming and it's snatching, right? So that would be kind of considered to be problem solving. I would carefully take my time. I would really kind of research, do a little product research in there, and select a niche that actually does appear to be trending on TikTok, okay? Because you want to make sure that your content and what you're selling is viewable and shoppable. Step 3, the layout, be product videos or advertisements. You can have a few here and there. Let's just say if you want maybe the public to get more familiar with you as a brand and you want to, just sit and talk and maybe let people know things about you or what your brand stands for. But typically, overall, that page should be designated for actual product videos, your shoppable videos, as well as for any mentions or videos that you're tagged in, as well as for advertisements. Okay, moving on to step 4, we are looking at product sourcing. Like I say, it's a little bit easier if you are someone who already has an established brand, you already have an established store, e-commerce channels that you are distributing your products through. So you don't have to focus on as much about product sourcing, because more than likely, unless you're adding maybe new players to the game, new products to the game that specifically are trending on TikTok, more than likely you already have a supplier, a wholesaler that you work with directly. But if not, and like I say, you're brand new, you've selected the niche, but maybe you just haven't selected the products. Again, like I say, it's always a good idea to look at other major players of the game, not necessarily as competition, even though technically they are, not as competition, but more like inspiration to see what do they have out of their store, what is selling. And on TikTok, yes, you can actually see the number of items that have been sold. You can kind of, I would say, like I say, take your time with it. Rome was not built in a day. I would select maybe about 3 to 5 other merchants that are within the same niche that I would say relatively appear to be successful and are selling products that I feel, fits within that niche, that bubble. Like I say, below, I'm going to leave some links for if you're within the US, domestic merchants or platforms that you could use, or I should say platforms that also have domestic warehouses. That way it brings down your actual shipping cost. Because the worst thing is, right, it has that nice wholesale price and you say, that's perfect. I'm going to get 150 of those units, right? And the price is super cheap, but once it actually, goes through shipping and all the extra stuff taxed on, tariffs and stuff, it's up by like $30 over the usual price of the item, right? And then your brand is just looked at as being overpriced. My suggestion is try to use suppliers that are actually within the country that you are selling from, and that should not only cut down on the shipping time, right? Because people don't want to wait a million days, a half of a month to receive their items. Now everything is really quick. It cuts down on shipping time as well as shipping costs. The next step, which would be step number 5, 3 options. You have 3 options around running ads, or you could to use all 3 at once. That's if you really have a nice little budget. But the first option that you have around running ads is to go the professional route. There are actual platforms, there are resources that you could use where you actually have agencies to create purely professional, finished, polished, quick advertisements for your product. And then you could, use that in your advertisement. Those agencies is Brands Off, which is said to help you create viral videos. It might be a little bit more on the pricier side. The other one is Ecom Ads.com, which is supposed to be priced a little bit cheaper than the first option. Now, the pros with that, I think, is that, obviously, that you are going to get a quality video, right? You could give a lot of direction. You're going to get a quality video with it. And usually quality does equal to conversions, right? If a video is quality, then people are likely going to watch it a little bit longer, and those views can result in sales, right? They can actually result in conversions. I would say that it's kind of worth the investment. It can't hurt. Once they create those videos for you, they are your videos. You own that property, and you could use it run those ads for as long as you choose to run those ads, right? The second option that you have for running ads would be to go the influencer route, which is nice because if you are selecting an influencer to review your products, then more than likely they have a large account and your products should be exposed to the amount of followers that they have, which is nice. There are pros to it, the pros being that you are potentially tapping into their subscriber or follower base, which could result in a video with lots of views, possibly potentially going viral, okay? But the cons with that is that you cannot guarantee the quality. Maybe it's noise in the background, or maybe they are swearing all through the video. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really guarantee the quality of it. Also, influencers are given the opportunity, or the rules state that influencers only have to keep the video if they choose to actually do the video. When you select, let me back up a little bit. When you select an influencer to showcase, to review your products, they're given the option to either go live, which is nice, or they can actually create a video with a shoppable link Both will have a shoppable link that, you know, if the person likes what they see, they click on the link, it'll go directly to your TikTok shop and they can make that purchase, right? And that influencer is given a percent of a commission, right? Because they're essentially doing affiliate marketing for your products. They do have the option to delete your product after 3 days, okay? So it doesn't, you won't have it forever like if you actually go the professional route. Also, another con, and I'm not all like against it because you guys can check out my TikTok page. Another con with going the influencer route is that potentially the page could get shadow banned. Yes, TikTok does randomly shadow ban large accounts, sometimes smaller accounts. But if that influencer is affected in any kind of way, then so is your product video. And if your video is not getting views, which we know views can equal out into conversions, actual sales, then that can affect you, right? So I say don't rely on any one particular one. You tap into all three, okay? Then the third option is do it yourself, okay? And I know that sounds a little intimidating. It does depend on the actual product or niche that you are tapping into. If you feel that you are somewhat aligned personally, or you have people within your team or your brand or your company that are aligned with what it is that you're selling, then you might want to actually do it yourself. And TikTok ads are not as difficult as what you guys think. But I would say do it yourself if you feel that you personally are aligned, actual product that you are putting out there. If not you, hopefully someone on your team or someone in your company. So let's move on to number 6, you guys. Okay, 6 is equipment. I would say, you know, if you do choose to go the route of actually creating the video yourself, for you to really look at the equipment that you use. You don't need a Canon or Nikon cameras and all that stuff. That's great, not knocking it. But if you have a cell phone, depending on the type of cell phone that you have, their lens ability to take really clear photos and videos, I would say just use your cell phone. Now you might need to invest in a tripod. I use a tripod, or depending on where you're going to do your videos at. If you can't get in a lot of natural light, then I would say you might want to go with a ring light or some kind of floodlight, just to make sure that it kind of heightens the quality of your videos, okay? So for equipment, like I say, you could get away with a basic cell phone. Moving on to number 7, actual apps, software editing apps. My favorite, and I'm gonna leave them up here, or also, again, like I say, check out the links down below, because I'm gonna leave all this information for you guys. But you know, one app that I think is great is CapCut. I would overall say that it is free, but depending on the effects that you use, it might be in the professional category. So I can't say that the app is completely free, but even their basic is just, it's perfect. It's lovely. I believe that CapCut is even partnered with TikTok, where they actually prioritize videos that have been edited in the CapCut software. A video is more likely to go viral. I'm just saying, to get lots of views on TikTok if it's actually hashtag with CapCut, because like I say, I believe those two brands are partnered in some sort of way. Also, a lot of the trending filters, which also seems to be kind of prioritized by TikTok, is within CapCut. So CapCut to me is perfect. For me, I would say that's about all you really need. But I'm gonna throw out a few more. Use Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro, called Munch. And there's another one called Opus Clip, which is nice because the Munch and the Opus Clip, if I'm pronouncing it right, is great for when you're editing. Maybe you have longer content videos, editing it into shorter. It also allows you to add the captions as you speak, right? We've kind of seen that trending a bit, but you could use those two apps, those two softwares, if that's the type of ad that you want to create, okay? So this is the last step, so let's see. Step number 8, find a way to make it short and sweet, but clear. You want a video that is viewable where someone wants to watch it at least a second time. Now, the second time they're watching it might be because maybe the captions ran a little fast or, you know, whatever, but we want to make a video that is short, sweet, but clear. So I would suggest a video ad, advertisement, I would say between 16, 18 seconds is nice. Recently, TikTok has seemed to be encouraging people to make longer form videos. Maybe the videos are getting a little too short for TikTok's taste. I don't know. Most of us, we want things fast, right? We want people to get to the point. Whatever it is, get to the point fast. I don't want to say people don't have a long attention span, but just think about it, right? They're scrolling. There's an algorithm to things, but usually scrolling means that they didn't necessarily click on that content. And if you cannot capture someone's attention within the first few seconds of the video, more than likely, they're not going to finish watching it. They're just going to keep scrolling. You know, I say get creative, whatever. But usually, like I say, you want to keep it short and sweet. People don't necessarily have a lot of patience. People don't always have a lot of patience or the attention span to watch a long video, even if you feel like what you have to say is so great. And it probably is. It might be important, but just think of creative ways to get the message out where your video gets watched from beginning to end. I would say make it short, sweet, concise. If you're able to add music, recently TikTok did switch things up. Before you were able to use like whatever your favorite artist, and you were able to still add a shoppable link to the video. Now they actually have their commercial music that they are allowing, which I'm sure is probably right. If you think about copyright things, intellectual property rights and all that kind of stuff, it makes sense. I think it makes sense. But TikTok has switched it, so you're not going to hear a lot of like real trending music. In the past, I think it was more fun with ads because you were able to use like trending songs on videos. But now, you know, you might actually need to talk over, narrate the video or actually speak and say whatever it is that you have to say. You know, but usually I would say my advice would be to use music, add captions, right? Maybe you're pointing to things, and you're demonstrating whatever the product does, and doing it in a quick, creative, fun way. But if your music options kind of suck, I would say don't even bother with the music. Maybe you could just still run a video where you're demonstrating it. Maybe you could narrate over it, or you could, if you're with it, you could actually talk and speak through the video, but edit it in a way where it's viewable, it's engaging, it's creative, and it will hold someone's attention within the first few seconds. If you are a brand, right, you want to make sure that you are instructing the professional ad agency, or you're instructing the influencer to make sure that they mention you, they tag your store, so that those videos that they create, hopefully they won't delete them after 3 days if it is an influencer, but make sure that those videos, if they're mentioned, their hashtag, they will land on your page, or you could put them onto your page and really start building your brand presence. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful, you guys. If you guys did, give it a thumbs up. Again, check out the links down below. I hope that they are helpful. Leave comments if there is something else, other questions you guys have, please feel free to leave them down below, and I will see you guys later. Bye.